3 years ago, my left knee was absolutely destroyed. I had all kinds of tendon issues after my surgery, and my screw kept coming at my knee, and I had to push it back in, and it was causing all kinds of damage in there. And this exercise, called the $1 million knee exercise by Charles Poliquin, the reverse step up, is actually what I deem to be the most important exercise for my knee health, my knee recovery. So I'm just going to let this roll, and then while I'm going through my sets of step ups, I'm just going to talk to you about how you can progress and why this exercise is so important, and everything like that. So when I actually first started doing this exercise, I started on a flat ground. I actually haven't seen anyone have to regress this far so far in my clients. So it might have just been me because I was so destroyed. But now I'm working up to like 12 inches without any weight or anything like that. But today, my legs are pretty sore from football on Saturday. So we'll see what we can get up to. Probably go 6 inches and then just see how much load we can go up to. Do some high reps to get loads of blood flow. But yeah, I always, it's like when you have that superstition when you warm up with just a bar on the bench press. I have that with step ups now. So I go through all the elevations. I literally go from flat ground, 3 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, and then to whatever I'm going to on that day. As well as adding load on each of them, just so I know my knees really warmed up. And if it looks like my legs are tiny, it's actually because I'm using 0.5 zoom on this. They are pretty small, but they're not that small. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how much editing I'm going to do. Probably just cut in and out of the clips. Let me know if you guys find this useful and everything. And this is actually the first day that I get to use this gym. Well, gym. It's a squat rack, a bar, and some things. Usually I'm in the gym, but I can't record in there because it's so loud. So yeah, we're going to see how we're doing this. And benefits of being at home, I get to actually measure what height I'm doing it at. I also recommend not using stuff that's not as stable, like this. What you're going to see me doing today, this is not going to be very stable compared to what I usually use, but you got to deal with what you got to deal with. So yeah, I actually think that this exercise is the one that completely rebuilt my knee the most. I couldn't get into the ATG split squat. I couldn't get into a deep squat when I was first doing this kind of stuff, because when I would get down that low, my screws would pop out and it would feel so uncomfortable, which is why my squats were really bad for a long time. I actually avoided them, which isn't a great thing to do, but I avoided them for ages. Now I'm really working on building the strength up in them. I started rebuilding my knee just on flat ground with step ups, and then after I got to a certain height on step ups, I was able to start doing like ATG split squat, everything else. I was also at the time just doing like blood flow stuff like sled. If even flat ground step ups are hurting, you can try doing sled or backwards walking, backwards with treadmill. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to do a step up, because that's pretty much just a concentric version of a step up. And like you can put however much weight you want on it, and because you're not using that eccentric like you are on here, you won't hurt yourself. But on the step up, you're using the eccentric. So if I was to load up an extreme amount of weight, even if I just went higher, you're going to hurt yourself. And this is very easy to hurt yourself on. I actually had a few setbacks, so you've got to be really patient, especially with the height. I always recommend to go load first. Always, to all of my clients, everyone like that. I remember when I first joined the ATG app, and I'd done zero for a while. I didn't actually like zero, no offense to ATG. Obviously, working towards being a coach, I love ATG, but the zero program for me, I lost a lot of muscle mass when I was first doing it. And also, I had to try and progress my step ups in height rather than load first. And I actually think when you progress in height, the tension on the inside of your knee go crazy, much more than when you just add a bit of load. So yeah, right now this is about 5 inches. Probably stick at this today. I wasn't able to do sled warm up or anything either because I'm now doing this in my home gym as well. But there's so many benefits of a step up. But as you can see, like, it's working my balance. You get to work single leg. So if you've got any muscle imbalances coming off a surgery or anything like that, you can use this to get back there. Now, I actually didn't squat for a long time. I just added extra sets on step ups and ATG split squats on my left side to make sure my muscles getting rebalanced. And it's going to be hard to talk while doing these sets. I've actually done this in a long time. So yeah, if I'm out of breath while talking, don't make fun of me. I also play by feel every single day. I've gotten so used to knowing how my knee feels on certain lifts, on step ups and everything, that I just know when to increase height, when to increase load. This might be a bit too much for today, just because I'm so fatigued, my muscles and stuff. Like, I just went on load on the 5 inch, and felt decent, but a little uncomfortable. So we'll see what we can do with, I think this is just over 6.5, something like that. I'll measure it in a sec. I'll probably go body weight first on this, just test it again. And when you're testing a new height, or even testing a new load, the higher and the more load you go, the slower you have to go on the way down. See how controlled that is, and then pausing at the bottom, making sure you're thinking about the insides of your knee the whole time, because this is one movement that's joint dominant, so your muscles could handle the weight. Like right now, I could probably load up 100 kg and my muscle will be able to handle that. Well, maybe. But it's actually the insides of your knees that are directly working. So you need to be super, super careful about how your knee's feeling on these things. And this is what I mean. Like some days I can do 12 inches a step up, and some days I go in, and right now this just ain't feeling that comfortable. Maybe I'll go lower or just stick at this height and then just add load today. And that completely depends on day to day. Like I get clients messaging me saying, oh, today it felt worse, today it felt this. And it's not like a linear path. Like it's not necessarily hurting my knee, but because I haven't had the ability to warm up with a sled, because my muscles are fatigued, my knee hasn't got enough as much protection. It's just one of those days where you have to regress a little bit, and then next time you can go back up and weight, whatever. And like you can probably tell when I'm doing my sets, my right knee even now is just so much easier than my left. So I still on step up add an extra set on my left to this day. And I don't know if I'll ever, like I was completely destroyed in my knee. Like I can't tell you how how destroyed my knee was. Like when I say my screws are coming out my knee, I would literally get people to like put their, people wouldn't believe me. They'd be like, oh, whatever, like where? And you could literally see the screw like coming to the edge of the skin, and I'd get people to push back in. They'd be like, although I'm back playing football, although I'm doing like crazy stuff, like I can do 50 squats, everything like that without any pain. It's like pain-free is relative to each person. Like I claim I'm pain-free, but I'm sure that there's people more pain-free than me. There's people that can do 15, 12-inch step-ups, just go hop straight into it. And like I am building to there, but it's just going to take time. No one's perfect, and the journey never stops. The chase never stops. And something you'll notice about my form is that I really accentuate my lean back so that my torso is staying completely vertical. Some people, when they think about having their torso vertical, they're like, oh yeah, my torso is vertical. But if you show them the side angle, they're actually like a little bit then over. Like I really, really accentuate it. Like I keep my shoulders back. Make sure, right now I'm not recording my side angle, but usually I record it from the side and be like, okay, this set was good, whatever. Keep checking myself on it. And I'm pushing that knee forward over my toe, pausing at the bottom, and then coming up. Yeah, we'll stick it that low today, probably. I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna go down a little bit and then up the weight, rather than have the height today. Some days I do height, sometimes I do load. Depends on how I'm feeling. So building up the strength in this allowed me to get into other exercises. Once you find that you can start getting better in one exercise, you'll start finding that everything else feels better. Even if you don't think they're that connected, they definitely are. There's stuff that translates 100%, like see it good morning. If you get that stronger, you're going to get your squat stronger. But also, just getting your low back stronger in general is going to pretty much increase every single lift. So if that's where you've got no pain, get your lower back stronger, and then you'll start to feel better in your knees, start to feel better in different kinds of lifts just through that. Get your hips stronger, get your ankles stronger. Everything adds up. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm using the heel elevation as well, which makes it a Poliquin step up instead of a Patrick. And this puts even more pressure on the knee rather than on the ankle. Because if you're doing a Patrick step up, you're getting long range in the ankle. You're still getting a bit of long range here, but it's more pressure on your knee because your knee can go forward more without your ankle having to be at that end range. You can use different type of step ups just to keep variety in your lifts. Like I don't know all the neurotypes off by my head. I'm definitely one that can just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Like I've been doing Poliquin step ups for months. Before that I was doing Patrick step ups, but I like to, for my clients, just to stop boredom, go Patrick, Poliquin, Peterson. Just as that variety, you're still getting the same kind of work, and it's all good. It's all going to add to the same thing. You've just got to change, obviously, with different parts of your body being accentuated. You've got to change how high you go, how much load you have. If you're bored very, very easily, you don't want to do the same thing over and over, because these kind of movements are quite boring anyway. Like I love step ups, but that's just because my knees, it helps my knee so much. But it's a boring movement, so if you get bored of it, just try varying the kinds. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to build up to. I'll put 30 on, see how that feels. That's another thing about having to change gyms and stuff. It's like, it's obviously cool I've got this gym now, but I knew exactly what height I was doing, and I wasn't measuring it with an actual measurement. I was just going, oh, I was doing 2 plates, I was doing 3 plates, height wise. So now I have to kind of guesstimate, because in the gym I was doing 2 10 plates and then I think 2 5 height wise. So now I have to be like, okay, how high is that on this? And I was doing that with like 45 kg, 50 kg, something like that. But this is another thing as well. Now that I'm warmed up, this is feeling moving like butter. And that's what the sled does to you. I always recommend to start a workout with backwards treadmill or sled or something like that. It gets the joints moving, it flows the blood flow in the area. So that when you go onto your step ups, you're going to be feeling miles better. And if you don't have a sled, you can do like lower height step ups for a lot of reps, like 50, 100 reps. And that will kind of have the same effect. Not the exact same, but it's similar. So yeah, this is 30. I want to go to 50, but I don't have the weights to be able to go 40 next. I guess I can do 35 next and then have a big jump to 50. We'll see. And like you've seen here, this video is probably 10 minutes already. I'm not even at my top set. For other people, it might be alright to just go into the top set a lot quicker. But I really like to take my time. And it's another thing because I love the gym anyway. I'm going to go 50, fuck it. Don't take this advice. Don't go straight to a high weight. But I'm going to do it because I know my knee's probably going to be able to handle it. And I know how to bail out if it can't handle it. So yeah, I'm going to go to 50. See how we're feeling. And you really don't need much equipment. You can start like rebuilding your knee with literally nothing. What I'm going to do today, I'm only going to show you the step ups, but I'm going to do step ups, split squats, Nordic curls, tips, calves. And all I have to be able to do that is this setup right here. And then a bench for Nordic curls, which I attach my legs to using a weight belt. But yeah, if you didn't have that, you could do something else. Adding hamstring curls, RDLs, just with a bar. Like, you don't need much at all to really rebuild a knee. You can just do the basics at a regress level. So it's step ups, split squats, RDLs. Obviously, it's ideal to have all kinds of different things, like knee flexion is really, really, really important, especially for ACL injuries. I pretty much get people to master Nordics eventually. I get them really strong on the hamstring curl first, and then go into Nordics, because that's pretty much like a second ACL. So yeah, we will see how this goes. So yeah, again, going really slow, controlling this. This is now my top set. My setup is really not good here. Like, ideally, I would have a lot more balance on plates in the gym. Okay, stop there. Like, again, when I'm going to the end there, my muscles probably still could have done more. But I'm thinking about how much my knee can do. And as soon as I get that feeling where I'm like, okay, my knee's getting fatigued, my knee's feeling a little uncomfortable. Discomfort is okay in some cases, but like, you've got to really be careful with step ups and pain. Like, I wouldn't work through any pain really with step ups. Like a 1 out of 5 is all right, but you've got to master how your knee feels over time. I've been doing it for years, so I know when to stop exactly. And when I'm with people in person, I can help them a bit more. But when I'm doing online coaching, I tell people just to do it pain-free, because otherwise I don't want to be responsible for having a setback on it. I mean, you can still get some really, really good work done staying pain-free. That was my top set on my left leg. A little more detail. I actually still add an extra set on my left leg. I know I said earlier, but it's because my muscle atrophied over years. So I have to really, really rebuild on my left leg. And my left leg actually grows slower than my right because of all the trauma and everything. So I still add an extra set on my left and just monitor how my legs look side to side. But yeah, step ups are now, I'm going to do probably 2 more sets. 1 more on my right and then 2 more on my left. then go into split squats, Nordics, tips and calves. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about step ups. My first video, so it's probably going to be a bit rough. If you've got any questions, just drop it in the comments below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll be able to answer anything. I hope this is helpful and gives more explanation on why I promote the step ups so much, but also how you need to be careful with them, otherwise you will regress. Try this exercise, it will rebuild your knee, especially if you do it patiently with load first and then height over time. And yeah, $1 million knee exercise. Beauty. See you later.